Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mortgage Coaches Training Thursday. My name is Lytle, and I'll be hosting today's call. So what we're going to do today is we're going to create an open house flyer with different percentages down. So you'll see how the different percentages. And we're also going to create a total cost analysis with that same information. So what we're going to do is be able to create these reports for your first-time realtor or first-time partner. And I'm also, at the end of showing you how to create these reports, I'm bringing in Joey Negron, who is part of our success team, and he's going to go ahead and show you how to use it on a mobile device. So you do have the option to print, but really the link is the key. So he's going to come in, show you how to be able to use that mobile device. He has an iOS device, a phone, and we'll be able to show you how you'll be able to take that open house flyer, collect contact information from the borrower, and be able to forward on the report. So be able to have that use of really how to use it with a mobile device. So we'll be doing that. That will be coming about 9:30, 9:40 in the call. So let's go ahead and start. For those of you who are new to the call, the way GoToMeeting works is they have a chat box, which I've placed quite a few links in there, the links to accessing Edge as well as our mobile devices. And open up your question bar. So if you have your question box open, anytime throughout this report, I want you to ask any kind of questions that you may have. And if you have them, most likely other people on the call have them as well. So with that, also doing this, I'm going to show you quickly how we're going between the two reports and be able to create these products and be able to copy them really quickly for both reports. Okay, so if you're following along, let's log into your Edge account. So put in your email address and your password. And the login Edge ID is just edge.mortgagecoach.com. We have our home screen that we come to. Our upper section is our client-facing reports, the total cost analysis, and rent versus own. Partner-facing, this is our open house flyer and seller buy-down area. So what I have done is I've already preset my report with all my realtor information in there. So how do you find your files when it's listed here? We do have a View All button right here. And if you click on the View All, you'll see all your partners that are listed. And if you click on that gray arrow, you do see all the reports as well. So this report here was the report I was showing you, a completed file. And what I had done is I clicked on Add Analysis. And what that does is copy all my realtor's information over for me so I don't have to upload it a second time. So it's a quick way of getting through it. But then I just have to go in and update my property, put in my new property, and put in my products. So that's just a quick way. If you possibly, once we create a report, now you want to make this and you want to make it customize the exact same report to a borrower, you could do that by using that copy analysis button. That will go ahead and copy the complete report except for your recording, and you would then just be able to add a new recording to that borrower, and it's that simple. So it's a quick way of using the copy analysis to copy a complete report, or Add Analysis will start with copying all your realtor information. So these two buttons also work in the client section with your TCAs as well as your rent versus own reports. So let's go ahead and click on the report. This is my working file. You can see I have an Edge link and the word working file in here. You'll see this is my friendly name. That's why it's so important in the friendly name field to distinguish between which report. And on an open house flyer, it's the best, put your street address on there because that's the best way to identify a property for your realtor. So let's go ahead and go into my working file and let's create an open house flyer that has different down payment points. So when you come in here into your partner section, you would just fill in your information for your realtor here. And as soon as you have that done, you want to advance the screen. Remember, friendly name field, put in the property street name for that quick identifier. Moving to the next screen, you would just fill in your information about the property. Pretty simple, just the street address. And a lot of times, if you're building relationships with new partners, you might go to the Zillow or MLS site, grab a property of something that's local, or you might see a property, you'd be able to get that information and build an open house flyer based on the information you received there and then reach out to that new partner with the report. Moving on, you want to put in the asking price of, in this particular case, I'm using $400,000 down. We're going to show a 5%, 10%, and 20% down. Put in your square footage, number of bedrooms, and number of bathrooms. And then you have a button down here called More Features. This is where you want to identify the different items within the house, as well as having 4 additional custom features that you'd be able to add. School districts, if they had kitchen upgrades, things you want to be able to show on that open house flyer. So once you have this information in, advancing the screen, you want to upload an image. So you can definitely place a picture of the home right here. I went ahead because this particular one I was mentioning upgrades, I'm showing the kitchen. So I have that as my image. You can always have multiple images downloaded on the first time through, because say you want to be able to show this on the one to the realtor. You might want to show a different image depending on your borrower once you start sending these out to your clients. So with that, you can always change it, and you already have those images uploaded. Right now, only one appears on the report, but the reason for it is just for that. If you're copying and want to show different types of images, you have it all there in the file. Moving on, now we're getting to our products. So you see I don't have any products built because I want to show you how quick and easy this process is. So in this particular case, I'm just putting in 5% down, and I'm going to my product templates, and I'm just doing a fixed rate program for now. So I'm doing a conventional 5% down, and with that, I have the 5%, so I went ahead and calculated my base loan amount, and then I place in my interest rate, and the term is defaulted for me. So once I advance to the next screen, I happen to have my fees built into the product template as well. So with that, it's in the settings. If you wanted to make any of these modifications, you would just click on the closing cost details, update any kind of figures you may have here, or bring down a new fee template. So maybe it was a different fee template that you need to use. So if that's the case, you can go ahead and pull that down, and just let me show you, and see how it just overrides that information there. So it's really easy to use a template. Even if you combine your fee and product template together, you can always adjust your fee template either by pulling a new one or going ahead and adjusting the figures here. If you ever adjust the figures for a new product, you might always want to save it as a new template, so that way you can use it again in the future. So once I have done this, I want to apply it to the loan. I have my fees already built in. And then I'm coming to my monthly cost screen. And because I have my escrow reserves already defaulted in my product template, I don't have to key that information in. I do have a percentage defaulted, but you know, they might have a different factor each time. So this is something you definitely want to either make sure you modify or maybe not put that default in. So that's just up to you. But you see how my reserves are defaulted, 2 and 4, as well as my 12 months premium. So that's how quick building out those product templates, how you'll be able to create the report. So now let's add a 10% down product. So let's click on Add Another Product. Change our label to 10% down. Just one moment. Excuse me, I cough a little bit. So now, initially we use our product template. It's the exact same product, just different percent down. So this is a quick way for you to do a copy. I'm going to click on Copy From. I'm choosing the 5% down product and pressing OK. Let's update it from 5 to 10% down. I'm having the same interest rate, so I'm OK here. Advance my screen. My fees aren't changing from the 5% to the 10% down, so I don't have to modify this at all. And same with my monthly cost. So unless your MI changed, you're set. You have your second product already created. Now let's create that third product with 20% down. 20% down. And use that Copy From button again. But before I do that, let's place in that sales price, so $400,000. And now we'll use that copy from feature. So now you'll see we have both 5 and 10% down. So either one, they're both the same except for that down payment. So I chose the 10% down, and let's override that to 20%. If your interest rate changed, you would just modify it, but in this case, I'm using all the same interest rate. Monthly costs were all the same, but now when they come to our monthly escrows, you want to remove the MI because now that you have 20% down, they no longer need it. So that's how quick. We just did 3 products rather quickly, and we're only 10 minutes into the call. So now let's go ahead and advance our screen. You have your analysis here. If you want to put in a property appreciation rate, you could go ahead and do so here. Advancing our screen, this is where you put in your contact information. So this is when you use that copy feature in the View All button. Once you create a realtor's contact information, you should not have to create it a second time by using that copy feature. So I have my information about the realtor here. I already have my image and my logo uploaded. So just to show you how to upload images, you just press Browse, and then you could go ahead and select where your image is and then upload it from there. And if you have a problem with your images here, maybe they possibly aren't uploading or not what people refer to in our email from support, is they're not sticking. And a lot of times you might get a logo that is too large. And if that's the case, don't worry, just send it to us. We'll be able to resize it for you and place it into your account. We also have instructions in a video tutorial for you to do it yourself, so if that's the case. But just want to make sure you're aware that we can help you with that. Once you have your images uploaded, and again, using that copy feature, you only have to do it once, we're going to create an open house flyer. And just to show you, if you wanted to do a different product, you would just uncheck it, and only these 2 products will display on the screen. So now we want to go ahead and put in our presentation title. So let's say many upgrades or great time to buy. Whatever that house, something that's unique to the house, go ahead and place that in the presentation title. A lot of times when you're on the MLS site, they might already have an idea of what that title. You can use that same title, being the same connection with that realtor partner. Pricing label, make sure you, it's defaulted asking price. Make sure you have something like asking price or sales price, and I'll show you where this appears on the report. And lastly, we have our notes section. So estimated taxes and insurance are included in your payment. Are included in your payment. There we go. Also, if you have a little bit more information that you want to present on the house, you do have like a little bit of space here to be able to write a little more information if you choose to. Advancing our screen, if you don't see an image on the report and you've uploaded it, make sure you come to this property image and select your image. Once it's selected, then it will appear on the report. If I had left it at none, the image would not be there. Now we're done. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's place our quote date on for today, and let's take a look at our report. So we just created our open house flyer. You'll see at the very top it says many upgrades. Then you have your property address that displays below, and then here's where that word asking price comes in right in front of that sales price. So you have the information here, the image uploaded in the upper left-hand corner, and right below that is your quote date. So with this, you have the partner's information on the lower right-hand side and your branding on the left-hand side. So right here you have the information needed to be able to send to the realtor. See on the upper right-hand side you have your property features. So now let's go back to Edge, and let's go ahead and generate the link. And with that link, what I'm going to do is also add a video right now. So let's go ahead and place a video on it. So same report that shows, but if you notice in the lower left-hand corner, you have that record message. You click on that and you want to say allow. If you're using, just as an FYI, if you use Google Chrome, they might be having a message up here right below your toolbar asking you to use that camera. So you would just want to answer yes. So let's go ahead and allow. And hi everyone, my name is Lori. what you're going to want to do in this particular case is introduce yourself to your partner, your new partner you want to do business with. You'll be able to provide information about your background and a little bit about the report, and then also let them know that you're going to be sending a total cost analysis that's a client-facing report as well. So you'll be able to do that. You can also do audio only, and excuse me, everyone. I have allergies today, and they're driving me nuts. So we have the record audio. Definitely encourage you to do a video. Video is more impactful to be able to see you. You know what to say. You go face-to-face with new partners all the time. Just take that same conversation and put it on your video. Excuse me. So now you have your open house flyer ready. So now let's go ahead and take this exact same report, these 3 items, and let's create a total cost analysis. So going back to Edge, so now going back to Edge, before we exit the open house flyer, I want to save my product. So let me show you how to do that. I'm taking a shortcut. I'm clicking on my second product here, and I'm going back a page. So I get to my first product, and I'm on the last page where my Save as Template button is. I'm going to click on Save as Template, and I'm putting in Open House Flyer 1. So once I have that created, now let's go into our second product. And I'm going to save that as a template as well. So what we're going to be doing with this is being able to take these exact product templates and upload them into our TCA, so we're not having to key this information in a second time. So we got save as a template, and let's do our last one here. Great. So now we have our 3 product templates saved. So let's go ahead and go home, and let's do the same with our total cost analysis. So I have already started it just like the open house flyer. So if we click on View All, let me find my report. And if I click on that gray arrow, you can see I have the 2 reports here, and I put the word working file in the one I want to work with. Again, using that friendly name field to be able to place that in here. So what I had done is I put my title, different down payments for 400,000 sales price. You could also put a marketing and put it all in one line if you wanted to, or I just used 2 lines here. So just be able to show you the difference. I'm just going through, it's a marketing piece, so I'm just keeping it as own, put in my friendly name, and moving on. I marked it as a purchase a new home, put in my sales purchase price of 400,000. And that's all I really need to do, and now I need to go to my product. So that's how quick it is to really get through the first 4 screens if you're just doing a marketing report. On our other Thursday classes, as well as our Friday class, we have an intro class. We go through each of these screens, each of the fields, so you'll be able to know how much you could build out an Edge and exactly what those fields will do for you. So let's go ahead and put in a product label of 5% down. I'm going to go ahead and use my template. So first, let's put in that dollar amount for the sales price. So I put in 400,000. And now let's use that product template I created with the open house flyer. So here's the 5% down, open house flyer 1. And actually, I didn't need to bring that purchase price because it would have carried over with that template. But you see you have the down payment, your interest rate, all your fees carried over, as well as your monthly costs. So that's what a quick way of developing 2 reports rather quickly using those templates. So let's go ahead and add another product. Let's do this 10% down. And now let's go ahead and choose from the product template so I can show you even with that sales price. So here's my 10% down, open house flyer 2. It needs sales price, everyone. So let's go ahead and put in 400,000. And let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and go up to an empty template and then go back down. Whoop, there we go, open house flyer 2. Put in that 10% down, our interest rate, and our term. Move to the next screen, all the fees carried, monthly costs carried. So you'll start using that copy from button in the templates more so once you start seeing how quick and easy this is. Now let's go ahead and add our third product. This is 20% down. Put in 400,000. Copy from, 10% down, press OK, and update that to 20%. So now with that, our fees and our monthly costs are all added. So now let's go ahead and do analysis summary. So in this particular case, you don't have to show a property appreciation rate, but you can go ahead and show one, whatever it is with your area. I'm just placing in 3%. This affects your long-term area, and I'll show you on the report where it affects. Now you have your short-term and your long-term. Because I don't know my client yet, I haven't been able to ask how long you're going to be in that house. So I'm going to leave it at 60 and 15. So with that, that's a good starting point. Short-term area showing you for 5 years what that short-term savings is of unrecoverable costs. And then we're using 15 in our long-term interest and MI area. We're also showing total interest and MI paid. And for those of you who are new to the call, I'm just going to touch base the reinvestment strategy just to show you what else can be done in Edge. So if I click on reinvestment, you have an area where you'd be able to apply money toward directly principal. So if I went ahead and put in $100, you'll see the freedom point has now changed from 30 to 27 years. And also their MI is going to decrease in time. So you'll be able to show them that information here. Also, if you double click, you can reinvest mortgage insurance as well as doing lump sum payments. So if this is something you want to see toward the end of the call, I can show you a little bit more how that works and dive into it. Please put it in the question box, and we could go ahead and tackle that a little bit more once we get toward the end of the call. Advancing our screen. If you want, you go ahead and put in your property information. I have a marketing report, so I'm just going to leave this empty for now. I have my payment notes in here, but just to match my open house flyer, I'm just putting estimated taxes and insurance are included in your payment. Okay. Now we're coming to the next 3 screens that I'm just moving through real quick. Always put your quote date on there. And just as the same, you would go ahead, and this is where the link is generated, and I'll be having Joey come in just a moment to show you on the mobile. And so let's go ahead and add an audio video. So with this, again, you would just go ahead and record, press allow, and in this particular message, you want to be able to talk more towards your client. So be able to talk information about the different down payment options and how you would be able to provide different loan options to them to find out what's the best mortgage choice for your client. So you'll be able to place that on there. And now what I want to do is bring in Joey, and I'm also bringing up my iPad. So let's go ahead. So first of all, hey Joey, why don't you say hi to everyone?
Hello. How's everybody doing at this moment? You guys can actually stretch.
So right here, I have an open house flyer. And what's happening a lot nowadays is I know a lot of people want to be able to show or want a printed copy. That's fine, but we're showing you the power of the mobile device. And in a lot of open houses, they do have iPads sitting there on display. And you'd be able to have yours as an open house flyer. So you'd be able to show this information to them. You'll also see on the right-hand side, that's the mobile app for a phone. So it's the same type of information that you have. And now I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Joey, and he can talk a little bit more about this.
Okay, so great. So for those that have already downloaded the Mortgage Coach app, Good for you. If you have not, then you probably won't be able to experience this at this moment. But what you can do is you can go to your app stores if you have an Android or an iPhone. The Android has Google Play and the iPhone has the App Store. Just search Mortgage Coach with no spaces and you'll be able to download it at that point. So one of the concepts in that has been working lately with originators is this, for those that have the mobile app installed, let me provide you with the link so that you can enter it in and you'll see exactly what we're looking at here. So let me expand this mobile device from my cell phone, and for those that can visually, now you should be able to see the screen here, but if you can access the mobile app, and let me show you what that looks like. It looks just like this. It's a little colorful bars here, and once you access it again, it should take you exactly to this section. Now what I want you to do is, instead of typing out the entire link for those that are participating with this, is just go ahead and type in the last 6 digits starting from /16NIZE. So the only 6-digit number you're going to enter in is 16NIZE. Then this way you would go ahead and access this forward arrow, and at that point you would be able to see the same presentation from the mobile. What I'm going to demonstrate here is why you would use this maybe at an open house or your realtors. For those that are currently viewing this at this point, if you select or tab on the image, for example, let's say, if Lori taps on the image on the iPad, or actually they share on the, let's try the realtor. There it is. So what this does is, as you can see, is by selecting that as an option, this can be on a stand, maybe on the counter, or on the counter somewhere where there's open house listings or flyers. This can be on the stand and have your contact information. What your realtor, Sally, can do is share your data easily. So if a client asks Sally, for example, any questions on this particular property, she can say, would you like an email from my finance guy, or would you like a text? So if she selects and access an email, you'll notice that now the realtor can ask for that client's email, and at that point they can send it to him directly. So when the client receives it, the best part about that is it's a visual business card, electronic business card. So now you're co-branding not just yourself, but you're also co-branding the realtor as well. So your realtors would love to use that. If it's a simple text, now you enter in the client's cell phone number. Let's say it's 949, 614, you name it. But you get the concept. Now you can simply send a text, and your clients, or those clients, will now have your contact information. It's easily shared, so it helps you win over referrals as well. Now,
would I also, if I don't mind interjecting too, and if you're not at the open house and your realtor is sharing this for you, you would be able to have them send it to the borrower in the to area, and also make sure they CC you on it. So that way you're going to get the copy. By doing this, the realtor is capturing the contact information of the client as well as you. And with it, by sending these reports, the client will also have your contact information and the realtor's contact information in the body of the report there. So there you go, Joey.
And I see there's a question there in the chat box. I'll go ahead and answer it here in a moment. In regards to, well, actually, let's answer it now. We might as well.
So, Jim, what you're asking for is, can the mobile app for Edge and RateWatch be offered by any client or partner for free? The app is absolutely free. So you're going to be using it, and you're going to be sending it to your partner. You're going to create the report, and they're going to open it. It's a free app for them to download, as well as any of your clients. So they'll be able to just download it and be able to have your report, and then by clicking that share button, just in the corner there, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to share it. So I hope that answered your question. And I also see one, Paul, sorry, I had a cough when you lost my voice, sorry.
So there's different ways that some of our originators, what they'll do is that they'll have classes with their realtors, and they'll prep them on how the mobile app works and how they can leverage it. So it makes their job a lot easier in sharing your contact information. Now, another unique way that you can use this type of presentation, when you speak with your realtors and they now have a list of clients that have walked through this particular listing here, one of the best things they can do is send the client an email with the 2 links, which will also, again, co-brand you and allow your information to be shared easily. So one of the ways is creating a simple email such as this. And let me enlarge this so you can see it here. And if you can see that, you'll notice that here is providing the link information to a client with different payment options for the $300,000 listing, the address, and then at the same time you will notice that right below there's the link to the open house presentation. So now they'll visually be able to see again your information. They can print it, share it, you name it, and at the same time right below you'll now see a copy or a link to the total cost analysis. So by them accessing this link, which I'm going to do now, let's assume that they're interested in this free home financial analysis report. What will take place then is it will reroute them and open up the presentation as well. So now one of the pitches can be to our clients is we provide a financial analysis for our clients. We tailor-made them for each of our clients so that they can understand their financing options and how everything breaks down. So again, that's another unique way you can approach it. The other way is for those that know how to rename a hyperlink, instead of the links demonstrating just as is, one of the things that you can do is this. You notice that the links now have been renamed to open house you attended at 1234 Maple and Anytown. And then right below you notice that I renamed the link as well as here's a financial or free home financial analysis report, and they can access it that way. You get a lot more clicks this way. So if you're interested in understanding how to rename hyperlinks,
email us at support.
Exactly.
We can help you. Another thing is I've also seen with the TCA is putting the person's name in that hyperlink. So you'd be able to, once it's not a new client, you're working with them, put their name in. They always want to click something with their name. And okay, you could so Christine, definitely you can rename the link. It's through a hyperlink. You can't physically rename it, but the hyperlinks are there, so you can use that. Is there a way to set up TCA with video on a tablet? Or let me check. You mean actually recording it, Jim, on the tablet? So it loops. Oh, I see what you're saying. So if you open up the open house flyer, you want to see if that would loop. We don't have that option right now. It would just have to be press play. So it's something to add. Let me check into that and see if that's even something that we can offer.
Yeah, the video will be played. So if this was the iPad, for example, and it will sit on a stand, your video will actually play in this top right-hand side here. So they will see an image. However, if anyone's interested or they see this, what you can also do is streamline if there's a flat screen in the home or that open house in itself, you can also loop it to where you can see it on the main screen. So it'll have your contact information. But the video you would have to replay over and over again.
Yeah, you would just have to press start. So on that. So I hope that answered your question, Jim. Any other questions on that mobile device? So I really wanted to make sure you were aware of that share button and the fact that your realtor can be able to forward that as well. So it works to both your interests. And again, by having the realtor's information, if I clicked on her information on my iPad, it will go ahead and open up and have all their contact information.
You'll see it here.
Yeah. My iPad's getting a little touchy with my touches.
So by accessing the headshot, and for those that have it on their iPhones now, if I tap on the headshot, it'll pull up that business card image. Same concept with the realtor. If I tap on their headshot, it now provides their contact information. They can easily share it as well. So again, that's a huge selling tip there. And then remember, you can also engage live with them. Mm-hmm. If you ever let's assume at this point, let's use this as a scenario. Sally is now in an open house who has a client who's very intrigued on the property. They want to put an offer in today. They're very interested in moving forward. What we can do is we can have a simple conversation, just a basic conversation, even though we haven't qualified the client. If we move this one to over here, we can engage with our borrowers. And if we can go to the open house, or is that the...
Yep. I can see the open house right here.
Okay, perfect. So if we do what's called, or if we highlight any of these featured options, what will happen is you'll be able to see those exact same featured options take place as well. So if we click on, let's say if it's a loan amount, if it has to do with down payment, let's see. Oh, we have to do probably Edge Live, so. So anytime I want to engage,
I'm sorry, let me go into Edge Live so you can see, I don't know. Preview and Edge Live let you know everyone is also the exact same thing. So if you go into Edge Live and click on your loan amount, it will go ahead and drive the report, and it will go ahead and open. Oh, we got the TCA, no wonder it's not flipping. So let's show them the history.
Okay.
So go back down, just to show you in the history button here, it shows a history of all the reports. So you'll be able to see which one you want to be able to open up. And we want to open up the open house flyer right here, or the TCA. And you click I understand. So now you'll see instead of the 4 quadrants here, you have it all listed as a download. And so now we're in our summary section. And this is where you want to be able to go ahead and have your conversation with the borrower.
Yeah, so when you have the conversation with the client, you can simply, we're going to enlarge the iPhone here so that you can see some of the images. There we go. So if we click on any of the options, let's clear all, Lori, at the bottom.
There you go.
And let's say, okay, let's say, Sally here, let's go ahead and click on the 4.5% interest rate. This is about the average rate ranging from a credit score of XYZ, loan amount of 80%. I mean, you name it. What the whole concept is now you're having this educational conversation with individuals at their location. Now, that's impressive, number one. Number two, you're providing them answers right away. Speed to lead is everything. So if we can impress our clients, number one, initially with something different and tangible they can visually see in their pocket, in the palm of their hands, they can walk away with it, and they'll be remembering you moving forward. So again, this is another way you can capture the lead and showing your clients how much you care and care about their, their goals moving forward.
And then what's also good, I just noticed that I have MI on my 20% down, so I definitely want to remove that. But that's another way of when you're reviewing the reports. You want to review it for that. So to show you, we'll keep the iPad up, and let's remove that 20% down. And this is what Edge Live does. So even just discussing the 5–10% down, how we're doing it on the mobile device, you can also make changes to the data. So in this particular case, let's just remove that MI. So I'm going into my Edge account, and I'm going to go ahead and close. And let's move this over just a tad so I could get into my products. And so let's go into the third product and remove that MI. This is 20% down. Let's remove that. Anytime you make a change on the screen, always remember to move left or right. That makes the save, and then that will go ahead and provide your updates. So if we click on more info, and let's go to our payment breakdown, see how it's cleared out already. So that's what Edge Live does. And so it hasn't cleared out here yet. So if we go ahead and close it down, and then we'll go back into it, and let's go ahead and show it clears out. Yeah, you actually have to close out the app, just bring it out and then go back in. Oh, I could go into the payment summary. And our payment breakdown. So there it's cleared out right now. So you can see how you could make changes to the report. It could be live, and you can have that conversation. So with it, if you're off site and you want to work Edge Live with the client, you would need a laptop or a web browser if you're using an iPad that has Flash within it. So the app is just a viewer only. I just wanted to point that out. It doesn't allow you to edit. So with that, so what I'm going to do, Joy, do you have anything else you want to suggest on the mobile and how to use it? And if anyone has any questions right now about using that mobile, if you could go ahead and put it in the question box, and we'll go ahead and answer that. And then what I'm going to do is just start focusing on different Edge Live items and move on from there. So thank you, Joy, or do you want to show anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks so much. Okay, shut that down. So to focus a little bit more on Edge Live, what I'm going to do is be able to show you. I'm going to the presentation, to the preview. You notice I took my mouse and just went directly up. That takes you to the last screen. Now what I want to do is take that link. I'm going to copy it, and let's open a new tab. So this is just like how Joey had showed you. I'm clicking on a link. So if they were in an email, they would be able to just click on it just like I'm doing here and pull up a report. So what I'm going to do is move that report over, and let's just talk about being able to change a few items on the report so you can really understand that Edge Live, because that to me is the key to really driving the reports for your clients. So if you have a question right now, I'm just letting you know I do have my questions not showing, not displaying right now, so I'll go ahead and show you Edge Live. So let me just go ahead and show you both screens real quick, and let's work Edge Live. So now you should be able to see both screens, and if someone could just go ahead and let me know that you can see both screens, if you could put it in the question box, I would appreciate it. So I'm assuming, okay, perfect, thank you, Jim. Okay, so with Edge Live, so this is, normally I show different ways of just editing the product. So say we have this report. We know that the borrower is interested, but they already know they want to put 10% down. They don't want to see the 5% options, 20% options. So how can you take this data and just copy it into a new report and show lender MI? So let's go back to Edge, and I'm going to the home screen. So now with my different down payment options, let's go into View All. You can also do a sort by here. So if I started typing in different, you see how it brings up my information here. So now I want to take that working file. Now I have a borrower. So I want to take those products and information, and I want to copy it into a new file. So let's go ahead and say Copy Analysis. And I want to make it to a new client because I want to not make this a marketing report. I want to make it now to a particular borrower. I press OK, and you'll see how it strips out the contact information here. But if I hover my mouse over my products, you'll see how I have all 3 products left. So that's how easy. So say you have a direct client, they want more information from you. Maybe it is just a 5–10% down from that open house flyer. It's an easy way to copy it over. Place in their name. This went one too many. Smith. We'll try it again. Friendly name. You can put anything in here. Purchase. If you wanted to also put that 1234 East Maple. To find out all the reports that you generated for that open house flyer, you could go ahead and do that as well. Just remember, this is your identifier. Partner email address, if you have an assistant or maybe you want to email that partner, you could go ahead and do so. Definitely in privacy, you might only want to be able to put the partner email if you talk to the borrower. If you're at an open house, they'd probably feel comfortable providing that information. And again, it's just about loan options for that house. So good idea to ask though, but if you have an assistant, maybe they want to be able to receive those email alerts, and that's what this will trigger for them. So moving to our next, you see how it's marked Purchase a New Home. The $400,000 carried over for me. And now I'm going to go into our products. So what I want to do is show, I'm going to modify these a little bit. I'm going to show different mortgage insurance. So this one I'm going to show monthly MI. I'm going to go ahead and let's put it at 10% down. Advance my screen. Unless your fees had changed and you weren't listing the fees, if they changed at all, you want to modify them. In this case, everything was correct when I did my open house flyer, my marketing package, marketing TCA, and then I'm keeping this as my mortgage insurance. Again, you need to make sure you have the correct factors, so that would be the only thing you would really have to focus on in here. So now let's go to our second product, and let's do this as lender paid MI. So, since they're working it, you want to be able to show them different loan options. And that's, I can't emphasize enough about these loan options. And the reason for it is, I worked 28 years at a mortgage document service. I need products, not options. So, to me, lender paid MI, things like that, I didn't understand the comparison. So even if people are in mortgage industry, they might not be in this particular space. So, and then think about the borrower. They want to be able to know. They might not know of lender paid MI or borrower paid MI. So with that, I should have increased my interest rate. So let's go ahead and do that right now to 5.25. And now let's remove our MI. So I'm clicking on the percentage here, and removing that MI. And now we just modify those two products to show monthly and lender paid MI. So let's go ahead and show borrower paid MI. I know this is a little sticky one only because of that subsidy amount and being included in that fee cost, that 3%. But let's just go ahead and do borrower paid MI. So I have the information here, but I want to mark yes. And with marking yes to FHA or VA, all this is doing is providing me, and it just dawned on me, I think I'm on my, I'm on dual screen still, aren't I? Let me check my question, no question. What I want to do real quick is go into my presentation. Let me just put this link up so you can watch how I'm modifying it. So I'm clicking on generate link, copying that link, come on, there we go. And now let's place it in a new tab on the right-hand side. So you can see, watch really what Edge Live is doing here. Whoops, let's go ahead and do this again. For those of you who work on Macs, they're definitely different than PCs. So there we go. So no present, I understand. So let's go ahead and go back to that third product and let's modify it slightly. So we have it at the lower interest rate, so it matches the same as the monthly MI. I marked it yes for the VA FHA program, which only provides me an upfront MIP field. This can also be used for your subsidy amount. So say if the subsidy amount was 2%, you would go ahead and indicate it, and you can add it to the loan amount here. So now let's start watching on the right-hand side. You'll see that the loan amount is going to change a little bit because we are adding that $6,400 to it. So this just shows you how you'll be able to make those changes rather quickly with Edge Live. And the monthly cost has also been removed here. So now let's go ahead and look at our presentation. And let's start working that Edge Live bit. What we're going to do is go into that reinvestment strategy, show you how to use that, show you how it works on Edge Live. So now we have our monthly options of MI, our lender paid MI, and borrower paid MI. All this report was started from by creating that marketing piece and copying it, and then just going ahead and modifying it and showing them their loan options. So let's click on the more info. And you'll be able to see that the mortgage insurance on all three products, so you'll be able to identify that, showing them only the monthly MI, or the monthly paid MI has it. Lender paid, you have the higher rate, but no monthly mortgage insurance, and you pay the monthly mortgage insurance through your subsidy here. So you know all that language, you know what you'd be able to provide that information. Let me go ahead and clear up my highlights. You'd be able to have that conversation that you currently have with the borrowers with the report. So you can see how the upfront or that subsidy amount is for the borrower paid, so you'd be able to identify that to them. And then you could just start talking about the report. If you want to be able to talk about that reinvestment strategy, let's show you how that works. So with this, you'll see that the lender paid MI is only saving $37.14. I'll probably have something incorrect here. So it's only saving that much, and $371 for the borrower paid MI. So if I go ahead and close this down, and let's go ahead and modify and update our reinvestment strategy. Let me just check, see if there's any questions. Not yet. Okay, so if we go into Edge, let's go into the analysis screen. And then we're going to click on adjust reinvestment strategy. So the first thing what these green bars, these numbers are doing is telling you the savings over the monthly MI. So to have even payments, you would want to go ahead and place in that information here, 37.1.25. So you can see that they have new freedom points. So now what I want to do is to reinvest that mortgage insurance after it has dropped from my loan. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and double click. And then at the very base, it will tell you at the 87th month, actually how it reads, the 86th month was their last payment of MI. So on the 87th month, they're saving $201. So what I want to do is put in month 87 and put in that dollar amount. Then I press OK, and now you'll see the readjustment of the freedom point here. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the report. So I'm going to press OK, go to presentation, then to preview, and let's take a look at that report, which you can see those changes on the screen on the right-hand side. So I'm highlighting the reduction payment by left-clicking on that field. You'll see now it's the word custom, and I'll show you how that displays. And you'll be able to show them what their monthly additional amount toward principal. If I click on more info and go to that reinvestment strategy screen, you'll be able to show them the reduction payment, how much, and the freedom point. So you'll be able to hold that discussion with them. And then if you click on custom, you'll be able to talk to them about, okay, if you continue that same payment, once your mortgage insurance has dropped from the loan, continue applying that amount toward principal. So with that, you'll be able to pay off your loan in a quicker time period. So you can have that conversation, but what happens if they say, well, we don't want to put any money toward principal, we'd just rather keep it in the savings. So you can go ahead and use that reinvestment strategy and also place it in an investment or a savings account. So if I close out the tab here, and let's go back into Edge just to show you, I'm clicking on Analysis, then Reinvestment Strategy. Once I click on that, what I'm going to do is remove my figures from additional principal. And then what I do is just press delete, and it removes that. Now let's go ahead. You could take that amount and put it down here in a savings account. You can also, if you have their information about savings, you can place that into the field for savings balance and be able to show you if they have an idea for cash to close, if they have enough. Also, you could go ahead and then, if you had a rate in here, same with investment, you'd be able to show how much they'd be able to save if they put that away every month. So $371 for a 15-year period, they'd have roughly $66,000. So to show you in the reinvestment, same thing can happen. So you can always place in what rate. If you're working with a financial planner, or they are, you can find out what that rate is. And you could go ahead and show them at month 87 where they're going to have that additional $201. Press OK. That if they start reinvesting that at month 87, in 15 years they'll have close to $21,268. So it gives you an idea how you'll be able to provide that information to your clients through the Edge and the reinvestment strategy. So if we go back to our report just to show you how those options look, if I click on more info, you'll now see that it hasn't updated yet. Let's go ahead and update our report. Let's see if it's already updated. Click, click, click. There we go. So with it, you'll see that the reduction payment has been zeroed out for the principal, but now I have it. Click on the custom for my investment account, so you can talk to them about that, as well as showing them savings. So it gives you an idea how you can modify any type of the report and be able to provide them the changes instantaneous. So primarily what today's call is doing for you is showing you how that link is to be used, how you're supposed to work Edge Live with it. It's just not to send a link in a video. Work with the client, show them the different loan options, show them different down payments. Once you start talking to them, you're going to start understanding what their goals are, what they're trying to do with this home. Is it just a beginner home they plan to upgrade in 5 years? Is it, they don't want to move for their kids are in high school and they don't want to move for a minimum of, 5 more years, 6 more years? And that's where when you start holding that conversation, besides products, short-term and long-term, those years can change along with their goals. And to do that again, you would just go back to Edge, go into your analysis screen, and the two fields are right here that you would want to modify. So possibly if you're working with a veteran and they think they're going to be transferred to a different base in 4 years, you could go ahead and put in that information. Again, you can, maybe then only show 10 years. So that's their only time period. They're in that particular area. And then you could go ahead and you could see on the report, let's just bring in the report up, you'll be able to see those changes. You'll be able to see it going from 60 down to 4. Did I advance my screen? Yeah, I did. 60 down to 4. And then you would also be able to see how it's going from 15 to, oops, and I did 4 months. So you actually be 48 months here. So in 4 months, this is what they would have. So if I just went back, see now you can really see how that Edge Live works. So put in 48 months, advance the screen, go to our presentation, and take a quick look. So there you go. You got 48 months and 10 years. So again, that conversation that you're going to have with the borrower, that's how you're going to use Edge Live. That's how to customize your report with the client. So let me go ahead and put it back on screen 2. And if you guys just can let me know that you can see my one screen, that'd be great. And so now let's go ahead and real quick just show you how on the iPad to download the apps. It's really quick. And if you have anything you want me to cover, we're going to be finishing pretty soon. If you want me to go over anything specific, videos, recording, copying, just let me know and you can stick around and we could go ahead and cover that. So how do you go ahead and download the apps? So what I'm going to do is go to my App Store. And you'll see up here I have Mortgage Coach in my search engine. So once I've done that, you press search and it will go ahead and search for that. So with that, you'll get the Rate Watch app that you want to be able to download to have that on your mobile device, as well as the viewer. So this is where you'll be able to have the viewer. Again, if you click on the link to the report, it will go ahead and take you directly to the App Store for that download. So it is free, so they'll be able to download it and be able to view the report and then follow along with you when you use Edge Live. So then going back through, let's go ahead and show you Rate Watch real quick. So once you have downloaded Rate Watch, this is what you're going to see. Ooh, rates aren't good today. You have a red background, and that tells me instantly that the rates are going to be rising. So with that, I just clicked on the icon right here to be able to open it up. And just like with your desktop version of Rate Watch, let's go ahead and bring that up. Bring that down. You have all the same options that you do on your desktop. So you have your home screen, which is what we're showing here. You'll be able to see your movements. If we go into Day Watch, let's check out what today's doing for us. You see how the opening bell line was right here. It went ahead, the mortgage-backed securities decreased and then started increasing. So you'll be able to watch that to be able to know if you're going to need to lock your loan in if you haven't already or let it float. Alerts, those alerts. So we already had one today and it's telling you how the changes in the rates are. Edge Views, if you were using the Edge Views, you would be able to get your Edge alerts in this area as well. So it's very handy to be able to have that on your device. We have our commentary section. If you can see, we have information from Bill Fisher, Neil Trenny. It's just economic news that they have in here. And if you want to use any of this information, you can. Just make sure you quote it correctly, that it came from a mortgage coach. If you're not quite sure how to do that quoting, just email us at support and we would have that information for you. This information also can be sent to your realtor on the desktop version. Not so much of this, but the graphs can be right copied and you can send the graphs as well. So each day we also have Dan Rotwich. He has a video and you'd be able to take that video and actually bookmark it and be able to view it. So there's the link to it. You'll be able to watch his daily commentaries, again talking about economic news and such, and you'll be able to bookmark it. So let's go back and let's show the last couple items. So you have their lenders. If you want to see how pricing with different lenders are, you'd be able to do that in this area. You do have an option to be able to sort through it and be able to view all lenders or just lenders that you want to keep an eye on, see how their rates are moving up or down. And then lastly, if you click on the settings, this is where you could go ahead and update your information for your settings as well as the schedule. So what time you want to see those email alerts. So, okay. Oh, you didn't see the rate watch, Sean? Did I have the wrong screen up? So if you could tell me if you saw that rate watch or if you saw the other screen, main screen. There we go. Okay, let me show you real quick. Sorry about that. What you want to do is first, let me just show you, go to the apps. Mortgage Coach right here. I did have a space and it works, and you have both apps, the Rate Watch app as well as the download. So they're both free. You could go ahead and do that. You'll see that my Rate Watch, I do have an update, so I need to download that to receive it. And then let's go ahead and show you really quickly that Rate Watch. So in here, what I had done is, let's go ahead and put it back on home. Okay. This is your home screen, and this is the red. So this is instantly telling you that the rates are changing negatively. Also with this, if it was a positive change, you'd be able to see the background is green. So with that, click on this to open up your sidebar here. You have your home, your day watch, so this is how today's movements are. You have your alerts, so you'll be able to see how we had a pricing alert today already. Edge views, if you have doing reports, you're going to get your email alerts in here as well. These are the commentary areas that I discussed, so you'll be able to see the written formats from Bill and Neil as well as Dan's, and be able to click on that video with the link below, which you can bookmark. And then you have the lenders that I discussed here. You'll be able to see how the pricing is working with the various lenders. Edge call log, and then lastly with settings, and this is where you want to set up your information about receiving notifications, updating the schedule, what time you want to see those alerts. You'll be able to identify that and provide that information. So that was Rate Watch. I hope you were able to get all that information. And that will conclude today's call. If anyone has any kind of questions that they want to be able to address, I'll be on the call for a little bit more and answer any kind of questions that you may have. So with that, thank you very much for attending today's Training Thursday. If you're new to Edge, we have an introductory class each Friday at 9 o'clock to be able to show you, let's go ahead in there. To be able to go through. We just do basics, how to create templates, how to create an FHA and a conventional product. We cover fee and product templates, as well as, sorry, I can't talk and talk, type and talk. So when you're in Edge, just click on the Help button. So when you go on the Help button, besides our video tutorials here, we have two other items. We have our coaching call archive as well as our month calendar events. So with our coaching call archive, you'll have a place to sign up for our Tuesday coaching calls and our Thursday trainings you're already on. Beginner course, this is the link to last week's class, and then today's Thursday training will go ahead and be downloaded right here. So you'll be able to see all our past calls here. And if I go back to the home page, now let's check out the calendar of events. This tells you who's going to be on our coaching calls. And if you're already signed up for one, you don't need to sign up for each one. It's all inclusive. And then here's the Friday introduction for beginners. So if you want to attend any of these, go ahead and click there to register. It's the same type of class, but again, we go through each field. We discuss how to build product and fee templates and just give you your basic understanding of Edge. So with that, everyone, I don't see any questions. I'm going to be wrapping up shortly. So thank you again very much for attending today's course. We'll see you next week.